Warning! Chris, he's just fucked up.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the ASOTV podcast for Fear the Walking Dead, Season 2, Episode 7. Shiva. Right? Shiva.
I feel like Shiva would be double
John.
E's.
John and hello.
Hi.
Hello. Welcome to the podcast.
Oh. The fuck?
All the Ninja Turtles are blue, except for two of them. And there are 4.
So you started with Chris. Do you want to start with Chris? Let's start with Chris.
Let's start with Chris. He's angry.
Yeah, he's not handling stuff very well.
Great.
Threatens a tiny child. It's not good.
I mean, good eye on Travis for seeing that book. I just would have been like, thank you, my man. I will see you in the East.
Yeah. I would have been the exact same way. And then, he just, hey, that book's in English. What? I probably would not have noticed that myself. And I'm a fairly observant person. Just throwing that out there. But being thrown in the middle of Mexico, I'm just going to accept that nobody can speak English. And, not really think too much of it. And he's pointing me in a direction, and he seems sincere. And I would have been like, yep, all right, peace, see ya.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, that was a good call. Because I thought, maybe his child speaks English. Because there's a lot of times where, parents won't speak the same, children learns a second language parents don't know. But I think it's really good that Travis is going to be there for Chris. Like, yes, Chris is going down a bad place. Chris knows. He said it. He's like, I'm no good.
No, you're not.
He's really not.
Please die.
Like, get him off the show.
Am I the only one who has hope? He hasn't done anything where he can't turn back from.
Dude, he's turning into a fucking supervillain.
He almost just killed Travis.
Almost just killed Travis. He almost cut his fucking dad's throat open.
Yes, he did.
And shot him. I mean, Jesus Christ.
What do you mean he can't turn back?
He hasn't done anything that he can't. He can still turn back from being a serial killer.
I'd have fucking gutted him in the fucking face and just been like, Nick, turn around. We're going back. Don't look.
It's also not your son, so.
I don't care. Yeah, you're right. It's like, I feel like we're literally watching the origin story for the fucking villain of the show in like season 6.
And honestly, if like
it's Negan.
That would be amazing. No, listen, that would be amazing.
Chris is actually Negan. He gets a face transplant before,
Okay.
See, Cleo doesn't think it's very amazing anymore, just pointing that out there.
That's what, actually, funny enough, I think that's what Ruben Blades said, the guy who plays Daniel.
Yeah.
On The Talking Dead. He goes, I feel like we're watching, like, the origin story of, like, a villain.
Yeah.
You don't get to see that all the time, but I just don't think Travis can fix this. Because I think Travis's solution is, if I just love you enough, you're going to get better, and it doesn't work like that.
Well, that's his solution right now, but I don't think it's going to remain the solution for the future. I think they will fix him, but I don't want them to.
At this point, I think it's just he needs to be there for him. I don't think it's just I need to love you enough. I think it's I just need to be there. He hasn't been there, because he's been trying to deal with Maddie's shit too, and he's realized Maddie's not there for him, so he's got to be there for his son.
Right.
I respect him a lot for making this decision. And I'm glad that they didn't just give up on Chris. They're like, oh, he's crazy. That's it. He's dead. I'm very glad that they haven't just given up on him as a character, as a person.
I'm going to remember Season 2, Episode 7 podcast. So 3 years from now, when Chris turns into like a rabid villain and murders everyone. And Cleo's like, no, he was fine. Like, they should just keep him alive. And
I'm not saying he's fine. And if he does turn into a villain, like if they've got that arc planned out, I will applaud them.
Yeah. So. There's that.
I mean,
Yeah.
it would be really cool if they did that. I'm just throwing it out there.
Yeah, I agree.
I
I don't want to see him get redeemed. I want to see them try, but I don't want to see him redeemed.
I would like
Yeah.
to see him redeemed, but I'm not sure it's gonna work.
I feel like we're only getting one redemption, and I'd rather it be Nick. So.
I don't think Nick needs to be redeemed.
Well, he needs to be on the show.
That's true, but just because he's
it's more Maddie needs to redeem.
That's true. Yeah.
I think Maddie's perfect now.
I don't like her conversation with Nick.
Yeah,
Nick said it himself. You're treating me like I'm using again. Like she's reverting back to how they were beforehand.
Yeah. And I think she said it because she's like, I wanna understand. Tell me I need to understand.
Mm-hmm.
And it couldn't be said in words.
Yeah.
But I think at the end when Nick is shambling off with the zombies, she sees him. There's a look on her face like she finally understands. She doesn't agree, but she understands.
Well, I don't... You know what it is? She never stopped treating him like a broken toy, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
She never, like, let him just... She could never stop seeing him as an addict. And I know that's, like, unfair to say, because it's, you know, from the outside looking in, or, like, someone like, you know, just really anyone from outside the immediate family, it's easy for someone to say that. But, you know, when you've had to live with this person relapsing and disappointing you over and over and over again, you know, it's hard not to look at them like an addict for the rest of their lives. But
first second you don't, you get the criticism from everybody else. You know, it's like,
right.
You know how he is. Why are you coddling to him again? You know,
exactly.
It's a really rough situation.
It's an impossible situation almost.
It is. But I feel like what Nick could have done was, I can't tell you. Let me show you, and just smeared blood all over her face and said, "Come with me."
Yeah.
I don't think she would have wanted him to smear blood.
I don't think she would have either, but I think that's the only way she'd understand.
But I honestly think she sees a little better now.
She did when they drove away at the end, yeah.
Yeah, I think she sees a little more now, what's going on in his brain space. But I also think there's, and we don't know this for sure, but we can assume that Maddie was also an addict of what we don't know.
She's done some shit, man.
Yeah, and it's probably not just that she's seen him relapse. It's that she feels responsible for him even being an addict in the first place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's hard. It's hard for her to not want to course correct.
And it doesn't necessarily have to be drugs or anything like that. You can be an addict for many different.
I honestly think it might have been alcohol because her father was an alcoholic.
Yeah.
An abusive alcoholic.
I mean, like, it doesn't have to be any kind of drug shape. It's probably going to be, but people get addicted to their cell phones, and that's worse than any. Some people can be worse than any drug out there. Things like that. No, Cleo, like, yes, you have that, but that's not unhealthy obsession.
My bank account would disagree with you.
If Cleo was like in negative money because of her Disney Infinity collection, putting aside food for her whole family, for the month to get these figures, that would be an unhealthy obsession.
Okay, I'm not there.
Yeah, so
right, and
just joking.
Right. I'm just putting it in perspective for people.
And definitely because Maddie's done some like just fucking heartless shit, over the last season and a half that we've seen her, like,
right,
just like cold-blooded, like, fuck it, we'll kill them, like.
When did she say "fuck it, we'll kill them"?
Well, she doesn't say it, but she absolutely does that, and I feel like, that's why her and Travis really haven't been getting along, because Travis is still trying to cling to his humanity in some way, in this, frankly, kind of really beautiful way. He's still trying to stay a person, whereas Maddie's like, be a real shame if this door locked.
Oh, I was sitting there the whole time going, close the door, close the door, close.
You see, I think the question is also, like, which parts of humanity are they holding on to? I think they're both trying to hold on to humanity. It's just different.
She's trying to hold on to her family.
Yeah.
That's all she's trying to do.
Which is pretty human to me.
Yeah.
No, it's hard to be a humanist when you only like certain humans. It doesn't work like that.
Okay. No, but a part of humanity is the familial bonds. That's what I was saying. I'm not saying she's a humanist.
It is, but it's very primal. You know?
That's
you know what I mean?
Yes.
Like it's not a very like high level of thinking, if that makes sense. Because it's like, this is my kid, I hold kid, you know. A caveman knew how to do that.
Yeah.
You know, she's making a lot of decisions to just like off people. I mean, she's basically Lady Rick at this point, getting to be Lady Rick, which is fine. It's totally fine that she's doing that. That's a decision she has to make. But
yeah.
I kind of get why her and Travis aren't talking to each other anymore.
Yeah.
Making a lot more
we've
sense.
seen their arguments. There's
Yeah.
you know, they clearly had problems before the apocalypse hit.
Do you think they're going to split up into 2 separate groups?
I think they're already split.
I think we're in 3 now.
Yeah, we're already split.
Technically 4. We don't know if Daniel's alive or not.
It's true. And honestly, we don't know if Celia's dead or not.
The whole time with Daniel, I'm sitting there going, you're doing it wrong. You're pouring the gas into the room, you're making a big thing, and then you're dropping it and not walking out? Like, no, you don't drop it. You walk out and drop it on the way out, so it goes toward the things, not at you.
You know,
he
is
didn't
psychotic, so, you know.
No, Daniel snapped.
Exactly.
Now, the actor who plays Daniel was on Talking Dead?
Yes, he was.
They didn't confirm whether or not he was still alive.
They basically said he's alive.
Did
We
they?
didn't see him die, so he's not dead.
He was pretty on fire.
He was not on fire.
No, he was like Back to the Future style, standing over the flames.
Yeah, he was not on
All
fire.
right. He was straddling the flames. To me, that is like your pant leg's on fire. You're on fire.
No, the ground by his pant legs were on
Your
fire.
balls are cooking.
You're a little toasty.
You are now sterile. I have decided.
Yeah.
I have made it so.
You know what's funny? In the In Memoriam, they covered Celia, but not Daniel.
Really?
Like, they said that Celia's dead.
Huh.
That is so
But
so weird.
It is because and like one of the show's creators, what's her name? Gail Ann Hurd, I think her name was.
Yeah.
I think she's on the main show too, but
I think she's
she was even saying like, you know, you didn't see him die, so assume that there's more to see, basically.
Yeah, but like you didn't see Celia die.
And yet, it was a little weird.
Yeah, that doesn't.
Like, yep, she's dead.
It's like the way Daniel walked into that room. I was expecting her to be off like on one of the alcoves on the side and just like run out the door as soon as he opened it.
Well, I was looking and she wasn't in the horde of zombies. They were still eating the pigs they fed them.
Yeah, so I thought she like escaped off onto the side. Where, for all we know, there may be another exit out of that place that she knows about. That's like, you know, locked up. Like, you know, there's a wine rack in front of it or something.
That's so weird that they put her in memoriam.
Well, you got to remember too that that's not necessarily canon. Like, that's not the show's creators doing it. They have a little input, but
that's weird.
Yeah.
Because usually when it's vague, they don't do it.
Well, they never even put Glenn in.
No, they did not.
No.
They didn't put him in.
Yeah, so
they were just like, Glenn?
Yeah.
Glenn was super vague, and they did not put him in. Like, that was left up to the mystery. Like, is he or isn't he? And, you know, that was the whole thing. Now this, it's like, we didn't see her at all.
No.
She's dead. What?
I don't know. That's why I found it a little strange. I'm like, she's just as Schrodinger's as Daniel is right now. So,
yeah.
You know, there's really no way
Open up the box. Oh, she's dead.
Gosh.
Gash. There was with Daniel's descent into madness that happened pretty quickly.
There were no warning signs.
What the fuck is in the water in Mexico right now? Like, what?
I know. Okay,
Travis
listen. I
drank
know
it
it
too.
was building up. I know it was building up for Daniel to go off the deep end. But last episode, I was just sort of like, oh, that doesn't seem that bad. I mean, maybe he won't. And then he just like sees his dead wife talking to his dead wife. I'm like, okay, all right, there we go.
Like a fucking twig. I mean, there's
Like a twig.
I was talking to this Cleo in pre-show. I was like, there was no warning signs at all, Cleo. Zero.
I was like, I saw no red flags. I saw nothing.
Nope.
Yeah, just staring off into the bed.
Yeah.
Dad?
I don't know. Maybe it was a long ass day, which it was a long ass day. Anyway.
Well, it was when he saw the little boy and he was reminded of his first sin.
Yeah.
Or the first made against him.
And I like that the first victim was him. Like, yes, he shot a guy when he was 7. The first victim was him.
But, yeah.
Because we don't know who it was that handed him the gun, do we?
No.
No.
Probably whatever mob ran his town made him do it.
It's a way of initiation, even.
Yeah. That was just so interesting.
It was because, I mean, like, his wife was like, he thought he told her everything, and I legitimately believe that he did, to his knowledge, but he didn't think about himself in the whole operation, which seems to be his way.
Mm-hmm.
Guess what happens when you do that for too long?
You snap like a twig. and he was going on about this whole the ground's not holy, you shouldn't bury Thomas, and then there was this whole thing with his wife where he was like, I didn't get to bury you, I didn't find you, I didn't give you the rest you deserved. And all of that was really interesting. I wonder if it got any other context besides his being in part of his brain space.
Well, I mean, they actually asked him that question on the show, and he basically, the actor explained it like, he really did truly feel that this place was, the place was unholy because of what Celia was doing, keeping the dead alive and her belief system was a corruption of, like, religion, sort of.
Yeah.
So he truly, yes, his psychosis mixed in with that a little bit, but he really did feel that way.
Yeah, I definitely got the extra stuff from that. Which actually, he did have a Shane moment. He opened up the barn and killed all the walkers. Well, no, actually, we've seen setting walkers on fire doesn't kill them. It just...
Yeah, I mean...
We
saw the walkers walking out at the end, so...
Yeah, they're just on fire zombies.
They're just on fire now. Yay.
They'll be on fire until their muscles snap, and then they won't really be able to move.
Yeah.
Then they'll just crawl.
But for now, they're gonna shamble after you on fire. Unless it starts raining.
Then they'll be a little less on fire.
They'll be smoldering zombies.
Yeah. I think my absolute favorite part of this episode, besides Maddie closing the door on Celia, was Nick coming back with Luis, covered in blood, taking a shower, and then covering himself in blood again to go find Travis. I'm like, boy, you just showered. You just put on new clothes.
For that matter, where are you finding all this dead guy blood?
Yeah, that's more what I was concerned with than anything. Was like, what's your source of blood here?
Well, I mean, we've seen...
How many shirts have you gone through?
Yeah.
Exactly. But we've seen
we've seen him trap the walker in the
bodies on this island.
Yeah, that's true. But we've seen him trap the walker, so he's still smart about how he gets the blood. But the whole like showering thing, he wasn't planning on showering.
Oh no.
Well, he obviously was planning on showering. He wasn't planning on going to get Travis. Yeah.
I just thought it was so funny. I'm like, boy, you just showered.
No, Mom, it's cool. I'll get Travis.
It's all right. I'll cover myself in blood. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
It's not.
I was waiting for like a special setting in the shower head where he just turns it and blood pours out instead. It's a certain nozzle setting.
It's
the psycho setting.
And for that matter, I mean, I'm a little impressed that he just told just went with what Travis said. Really honored his wishes.
Yeah.
Just told him, like, look, just tell you didn't find us, and
Like,
be on your merry way.
I just can't get over, and like as many times as I've seen this on The Walking Dead and The Walking Dead, I don't understand how smothering yourself in zombie blood does not get you infected. If somebody had like a infectious virus, walking out and whatever, and they cough on you, you get it,
well, I
but
think
you smear like blood all over you, and you're not getting the zombie thing.
well, I think the reason is because everyone's already got the virus.
Maybe.
The thing
Well,
that
he's saying not getting sick. Like,
Yeah,
why aren't
yeah,
you
yeah.
getting sick from smearing
Well, I think
blood and guts on
that's
you?
true.
And the answer is you will.
Yeah. So how
I
many
mean,
times can
you
Nick do
absolutely
this?
will.
Yeah, I don't know why it's the bite. It's the saliva that's
Well, because
what
the
turns
infection, because
kills
it's getting directly into your bloodstream. That's why the
I mean, if
bite
he
is
got
doing
the
that.
blood and shit in his eyes, he would totally get sick. I mean,
Yeah.
if he had an open cut, same thing.
Or even his
I mean,
mouth, anything, it's just like...
Yeah, any like open orifice like is vulnerable. So I really don't know why he thinks it's such a great idea all the time.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
like,
get away with it once or twice when it's in like dire circumstances, but what's the chances you don't have some kind of little cut on you right now? Cleo, you work in how often do you cut your finger?
Well, I mean I don't work with anything too sharp, but in my regular life I have tiny little cuts and I'm like, where the hell do those come from?
Yeah.
Not work related, it's
I
like,
have
where the hell
stuff
did that come from?
on my hand right now. I have 3 cuts on this hand and 2 on the other one. And it's like, if I go and smear, that's getting in my blood. It's done.
And the weird, the thing is that, like, I think the cast on the main show has learned is that, like, they wear like sheets or something over their clothes and then smear it on the sheets and whatnot, or they're like like a cape or something.
Yeah, well, even on yeah, and I
So
mean
it's not touching their skin.
yeah, the bloody ponchos that they wear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes they'll smear a little on their face, but it's not often.
Too much. But
Yeah.
I think for Nick, it's really like more symbolic of him, like, really
Yeah.
believing that he is like one
Invincible.
of them.
Yeah, invincible, invisible. He's basically a modern day ninja. That's what he is.
Well, she's kind of like being an addict again.
According to Maddie.
she's-
Well, it's the same feeling of like being invincible and
Yeah.
unseeable.
because he's like, I'm not gonna die. That's his
He
whole
might die.
thing to her. Like she was clearly scared for him because of how invincible he felt.
Yeah.
So
I don't know.
yeah, I don't know either. Where was I? I'm jumping all around with these notes. I really liked Stren in this episode. I mean, we've seen his soft spots before, but in this episode, we like see it even more. It's like when they're escorting him out and he waves to Alicia. Like that wasn't a thing he would have done before. He comes back for them.
Yeah. Well,
He clearly cares about them.
yeah. I mean, when this whole time when he's been on the boat, right? He's had this mission. He had this goal. He was trying to get there, and
Thomas.
he was worried that they were holding him down, right? Now he gets there. He gets to Thomas. He's got to kill Thomas. He's got nowhere else to go at this point. Like, no plans. He knows these people have their shit together for the most part. Like, they when they need to, they work together. They get shit done, and they look out for each other. He wants in on that. It's that simple.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
He
And I
doesn't
think
have the
him-
answers anymore.
And I like him and Maddie's friendship.
Yeah.
He's like,
They got
oh, don't
touch
get all.
tips.
He's like, oh, don't get all sentimental and use big words like friend, and then he uses the word friend, and it's like, yeah.
Bravo.
You got a soft spot, Stran. We're on to you.
Mm-hmm.
I like when he said, "It's not your son."
I love that. She was gonna go
Celia's just
hit
like,
him. She was
"Oh,
gonna
hell
punch him.
no."
I love that.
Mm-hmm.
It's really cute, Celia. Not your son. Great. Good talk.
Good talk. Yeah.
He's like your son, and
Not-
you're like an overbearing mother. But as it turns
Not
out,
quite.
you're
Not-
just crazy.
You're just crazy.
Slightly.
Slightly crazy. Yeah. And now, see, now I feel all weird because in my brain I was like, okay, I didn't see her turn into a zombie. She's not dead yet, can't rule anything out. But now that
I'm a talking dead. Yeah, I know.
you're right, it's not canon, but I still can't get it out of my brain.
Yeah.
I know. It threw me off.
Yeah.
Because I was like, and they're all saying with certainty, oh, because she's dead. Because the actor was on there.
Mm-hmm.
The woman who plays Celia. So, like, she's like, no, it's cool being dead. I'm like, how do you fucking, who said? I don't know.
We didn't see shit. I don't know.
Yeah. It's very odd. I don't know. I have a feeling she's probably not.
I mean, I was
Or
literally
maybe she's-
just rewatching. I was just watching the episode just before we did this show.
Yeah, and I
And-
was watching looking
yeah.
for her.
And
in
she
that
was
crowd.
definitely not there any way, shape, or form. From the time we see Maddie leave and close the cell, we do not see her again through the whole episode.
She might just be back as a walker, honestly. Like, she might be back, but not.
Yeah.
But
I don't know. They seemed like they were leaving. They seem like they're not going back unless, the next season starts with Travis and Chris, like, running back to the house because they don't even know what happened yet.
Or Daniel leaving the fire, who knows where he is right now. He's closest.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know where Nick and Travis are going to end up, but I would not fall asleep until he falls asleep.
Chris.
That's what I was thinking.
Chris,
I'm like,
sorry.
I'm like, Travis, you're doing a great thing for your son, but probably maybe never sleep again.
Probably.
Tie him up first.
So what the fuck happened to his feet?
I don't
He
know.
ran. Okay, I was wondering this too. I backed up. He ran out of the house with no shoes. He just had socks on. So he was running through the fields and all of that crap with no shoes on. That's why because his feet were all bloody, and I saw that, and he was limping. But the socks looked like shoes. But then when he sat down, I saw they were only socks. And I was like, okay, there we go.
Gotcha.
Yeah. That took me a little while too, where I was like, "What the fuck? Why are you limping? What the hell?"
Sorry, I have a condition. I have soft feet.
Yeah, no, he was running. He was running
I have soft,
nearly
flat
barefoot.
Mhm.
Yeah. So we're not quite done with this island yet. Everyone still has to either get to the boat, or escape flaming zombies.
Or split up and stay there forever. Nick's gonna stay on this island for the rest of the show.
God,
Yeah, I honestly don't know. This was just such a good, and this is a mid-season finale. This feels like a season finale. This was so good.
It does, and this is one episode past where we were at last year for the finale. So
Yeah.
Yes.
Keep that in mind. We still have 8 or 9 episodes to go.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
9, I believe. 9 episodes.
And
yeah.
you were mentioning, Cleo, how this is gonna complement Bookmark The Walking Dead, and I'm actually, the more I thought about that, I was like, I'm kind of disappointed we're not just running straight through, but at the same time, this goes on break with everything else, right? Mm-hmm. So it kind of, gives us some time to recoup and stuff and get excited for next season, everything coming out. But this also is gonna lead into The Walking Dead, so it helped us. I think this show, especially Cleo, now get me if I'm wrong, but this helped you process the Negan kind of get.
It helped me distract myself.
Yeah.
From it.
Right, and then it's
still
gonna
not over it.
Right, but it's gonna act as a buffer going into the next season too. It's gonna get us a little excited building up because we're slowly into this universe kind of thing, and then it's gonna be like boom, the part we want. And I think unfortunately, that's still how I'm looking at Fear, is I'm just looking at it as a compliment to The Walking Dead. I'm not looking at it as its own show right now. And that may be unfortunate, but that's the way it's helping me process. Yeah.
Honestly, for me, The Walking Dead finale was just...
Mixed.
I had so many... Yeah.
Yeah.
I had so many opinions. And having this just... on its own thing, still in the same universe, to just get my brain off of it was very, very, very good. And it's so good on it's own too right now. I feel like it's this first half of the season is doing what it kind of failed to do in the first season.
Mm-hmm.
It's
definitely.
It's just
closer.
so much more compelling.
It's closer in quality to the main show now. I mean, if not, I might even say it's surpassing parts of it.
Some of it is, some of it isn't.
Yeah. I mean, there's definitely parts of the season of the main show that I think this show's doing way better.
Yeah. And especially at the point that it's at. Because,
right.
I mean, you look back at Walking Dead, I was not very interested in the show around the time when they got to the CDC in season 1. I was just like, and it ended up being like this weird thing. And I loved the first, 2 episodes. The build-up was great and everything, and then it kind of, died out for me. And Fear held my attention through all 6 episodes. Walking Dead Season 2, which was the farmhouse, and all that, it was really slow.
It dragged.
It was really, really slow. And this is kind of Farmhouse 2.0. The way the zombies are hidden away. And yeah, exactly. So that was my point, is where we're at now is very comparative still to The Walking Dead Season 2. And it's in a much better place. However, we're still more invested, and we're always going to be, as long as this goes on, more invested in the Walking Dead characters because of the amount of time we've spent with them, that unfortunately, this is always going to look as a companion series to me.
Yeah. And that's, I was going to mention that when we were talking about, I think someone mentioned losing Nick or somebody dying in the future, and I was like, yeah, that'll suck, but I don't know. Walking Dead proper has devastated me in the past.
I mean, and what's really interesting to me is, at this point, I can't get over that. But then you go and look at a show that's doing that on the CW. You look at the Vampire Diaries. Right? You have the Vampire Diaries who started out with these characters, the originals, and they threw them off into a spin-off. Now, that's even more connected than what they're doing here, because they're actually taking a prominent group of characters that were on another show and starting a spin-off with them. And then I started going into that second show, the originals, watching that as this is a companion series to the Vampire Diaries, and I'm going through, and it wasn't until about the midpoint of season 3 here that the originals just hit that I'm just like no longer looking at it. This is its own show. I don't feel like, yes, it's connected to Vampire Diaries, but I don't look at it as a companion anymore. I'm hoping by the time we're in season 3 of Fear the Walking Dead that I feel the same way. But I don't think before that I'm going to. So I don't think the second half of this is going to do that for me. Hopefully by the time season 3 rolls around, I'm going to be more invested in this show as a show instead of as a companion show.
I mean, and right, to be fair, we're still getting a lot of characters' backstory and stuff like that. So, it's going to take time to kind of really flesh itself out more, which I think will be fine.
Yeah, I'm not worried.
I think a really funny thing, because you guys didn't see it, but the preview for the season, the mid-season reconvening, whatever the hell we're calling it.
Season B.
Season B.
2B.
2B.
Yeah. That's how Chris says it.
Yeah. So the preview was Nick lying down with his usual blood caked all over him, seeming like he was sleeping, and there was some guy like a shadow with a bat walking up past him. And then, of course, Hardwick's just like, Negan? And fucking, the audience was like, no! And then the show creator lady was like, there could be crossovers.
Oh, my God.
Why you gotta do that to me?
Why you gotta do that? Why you gotta...
Negan a car salesman in Mexico?
Negan could have spent a bit of time in Mexico. We don't know.
No, it was just really funny, but
yeah,
I like that she said they're not rolling out crossovers in some
Yeah.
case, which I think is cool.
And especially since we've kind of timelined this out, that we're already past the first into the first season of The Walking Dead. We're past the first episode of The Walking Dead now.
Yeah, for sure.
Which I can't say that we're 100% accurate on, but we're really fucking close, if not.
Yeah, I can't imagine that it's still before Rick wakes up, because that was only a month. It's definitely after that.
It's definitely more than a month. I mean, I'm sure at this point they're in the woods right now, and Carol's shitty husband is dying.
Yes. Yeah. I'll wager that that's where we're at. I like it.
Yeah, so I don't know. I'd like to see some kind of crossover between the two and get to that point at some point. I'd love to see Nick end up on the Walking Dead, but that's another tricky part that we're gonna get into, is if we see a character that show up on The Walking Dead right
we'll
now.
know that they have plot
It's way in the
armor.
future. Yeah.
Yeah,
right.
it's going to be a really thing when more likely what I think we're going to end up seeing is maybe a character that has already died or something like that. Even if it's not from the main cast, if it's a supporting character or something, show up on Fear.
Oh, I see what you mean.
Yeah, I'm not saying this because that wouldn't actually work, but like Morgan, for example. We could see Morgan. We're not going to, but I'm saying we could see a character like Morgan, who we didn't see initially with the main group of people, and then kind of wander over and end up where he did.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
Morgan obviously wouldn't work, but a character like him.
Sure.
Like, think of anybody from Alexandria. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that absolutely could happen.
Yeah. Deanna.
Yeah, it's still tricky because of the distance, and there's no
Right.
real reliable
Right,
way
I
to
think
travel
we also
that
don't-
kind of a distance.
We don't know for sure that Fear is always going to stay
This is true.
on the West Coast.
Yeah, because we thought that Walking Dead was going to be in Georgia forever, but now they're somewhere in like Virginia.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, they're just outside of DC.
yeah,
They're getting there. They're getting to Eugene's original goal.
Well, there's nothing left of DC, so there's
I know.
no.
yeah, so that's all I've got to say. You guys good?
Yeah, when do we come back?
We come back at the end of August.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Last
long
2 weeks
time
of
ago.
August.
Awesome. Yeah, I thought I saw an actual start date for that.
August 20th? 21st?
21st.
21st.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
it's a Sunday.
Yeah, so.
So, yeah.
we'll
John,
be
where can the
back
people find you?
You can find me waiting with bated breath for the next fucking episodes. At No More on Twitter.
Dom, where can they find you?
in. Not smearing myself in blood like Nick at Phenomenon, PHENOMEDOM.
Oh, how hygienic.
And you can find me at Cleomoto on Twitter, Twitch, and Pinterest. You can find all of us at ASOTV Podcast on Facebook, Twitter, Gmail, Google+, and right here on YouTube.
You might as well
Follow
just
us
pause. Let me do it.
I do, but when I pause, you don't cough.
That's true. I do
And
that
YouTube
intentionally.
is the most important thing that I need to say. You can find us on YouTube. Follow us for some more podcasts, for some of your favorite TV shows, video games, and movies. Although, if you're watching us, you probably already found us on YouTube, so
That's true.
whatever. Till next time. Bye.
See ya.